if you have 5.
Wait,
5.
5. No place like Dance Center. The hardest part of telling stories about character is trying to limit the scope. How do I talk about character and not relate the nature of astronaut John Glenn, first American to orbit the Earth, spooling back into the atmosphere, not knowing if his heat shield was damaged or gone, which would incinerate him in a 17,000-mile-an-hour scorch across the sky? His signal fading, he was calm and cool, and last heard humming the battle hymn of the Republic as his spacecraft, Friendship 7, blistered into the fireball of re-entry, leaving the whole world gasping in fear and hope for the almost 7 minutes of radio blackout. How do I not tell the story of Jimmy Doolittle and his fearless raiders, each doing the impossible, one after the other? Leading from the front, Doolittle was the first of 16 Army pilots to ease his land-based aircraft up to exactly 100 feet from the edge of the pitching flight deck of the USS Hornet. He locked his brakes and ran up his motors till they screamed. And as the bow of the ship rocked down into the trough of a wave, he released and roared off a rising flight deck and into history. Beginning tomorrow at 10 a.m., the Nazi radio crackled. All Jews residing in Denmark will wear a yellow Star of David on their chest for ease in identification and special handling. And the next morning at 10 a.m., the gates of the royal palace opened and the King of Denmark took his daily bicycle ride around Copenhagen with a yellow Star of David on his chest. And by that afternoon, every Dane of every religion in every city, town, and hamlet across the country wore the yellow Star of David until the last day the last German was toast. Terror rebutted by community of character. How do we talk about character without talking about Jackie Robinson, whose feat was Herculean? It wasn't enough to be just the very best. He had to be perfect. On the field, off the field. If he ever struck out, an entire race struck out. And even then, he was expected to steal third. The story of the courage and conviction of Muhammad Ali, stripped of his title, standing alone against the tempest, is the beating heart of character. Lauren, Rachel, Mary, Anne-Marie, Victoria were teachers who gave their lives trying to protect their kids from madness and hatred loose with an AR-15. Each of them were found with their arms around as many kids as they could reach, trying to shield them all with their own body. Dawn Hochsprung was the principal at Sandy Hook. Those were her kids. Those were her faculty. She yelled a warning, get them in lockdown, save lives, and then she rushed the gun with nothing but her bare hands and her heart. They were not famous teachers. They were not rich teachers. They were teachers. How do we not talk about the character of those who dedicate their lives and fry out like popcorn, trying to help each of us access our best? And that's the point. It's about what each of us stands for. What's the nature of our true north? After the big white tent is done and down and gone, over the long watch of some pleasant midsummer's eve, there neath the moon glow, have a care. Give some thought to what few words might catch you in a motto. What star do you steer by? My own personal motto is obvious: blend. Laugh, I'm in the Sasquatch Witness Protection Program. FBI just shaved off all my hair, let me loose in LA, told me blend. LA, baby! Summer's coming!